Hey guys, get you to the show in a second, but first, how would you like to win this? A signed Liverpool home shirt. It's signed by Ibrox. To get your hands on this, very, very simple. Just make sure you're subscribed to us here on YouTube. We are on the road to 500,000 subscribers. We're very nearly there. Help us get there by subscribing right now. Just click the button below this video. Once you've done that, and once we get to the 500,000 subs, we'll do a draw, and one of you guys will win this amazing prize, like I say, signed by Big Ibu himself. Right, let's get on with the show.
Yeah, baby, Liverpool done it again. Welcome back to the Redmen TV. It's Errol here with your fan reactions. Liverpool have just wiped the floor with this Rangers side in the Champions League. We are past the halfway point in this group stages now. Liverpool have given themselves a 6-point gap between them and Ajax by beating Rangers 7-1. And if you wasn't just watching that watch along and watching the game with us, I don't know what you was doing. You was doing it all wrong, because that was epic. We've got Andy App. Let's jump straight into some of your comments. He says, that's more like it, the lads. For a phenomenal performance. That will do wonders for the team's morale ahead of a very tough game. And thanks to Chris Pajak, I've only just got my son and Alexa to shut up. So yeah, Chris causing havoc in households all over the world. We love to see it. FPL Skills says that was absolutely fantastic. 7 goals, a Bobby masterclass, and Salah with the Champions League's fastest hat-trick. Yeah, the numbers on that is absolutely ridiculous. This guy is just a born record breaker. He's literally managed to break almost any record that's been invented since football has begun, and he's done it in some superb style as well tonight, with an absolutely banger of a hat-trick. Brian Glow says, what a win, 7 great goals, and everyone played well today. Good for the confidence we can take into the City game, especially Bobby's performance, Darwin's goal, and Mo's 5 minutes hat-trick up the Reds. And the app also says, just watching the BT interview with Van Dijk, completely forgot how he used to play for Celtic. Yeah, there was that affiliation in there as well. So I think that was another reason, as there an added incentive for him to want to play really well tonight. Hitchin Baz says, previous fastest hat-trick was 8 minutes and Mo was clocked at 6 minutes 12 seconds. So he shaved off just over a minute there in terms of being able to get that record. Shane O'Kelly, wow, what a win that was. Bobby was sensational and Mo was class when he came on. Bring on City on the weekend. Only one thing left to say, and that is boom, boom, boom. Pow. Yeah, absolutely. See, you've got to watch the watch-alongs. If you're going to jump on these shows with me after the fact, you've got to watch the watch-alongs, because it's littered with inside jokes. People in the chat absolutely love it. I love the energy that you guys provide into these kind of forums, and I love kind of having that interaction with you guys as well. So Neil G says that was an immense performance. I feel like this is the beginning of a fight back, the fight back every other team has been worried about. Well done, the lads. Well done, Jürgen. Ooh, I'm not 100% sure. I would love to have that level of confidence, but we've seen false dawns before. We've seen it in terrible runs of form when we went and wiped the floor with Palace, and I think there's another comment queued up on that as well, and when we went and wiped the floor with Bournemouth not so long ago. It is great that we got this result tonight, and it is great to steamroll Rangers in the way that we did and in the manner. However, they are still a subpar level of opposition. We are going to face a lot tougher tests. We're going to go from one extreme to the other. I'm going to be straight with you. We are literally going from one extreme to the other. We're going to be at the home, and we'll have the home advantage on the weekend, but we're going to be playing a team that know that they are probably the best team in the world at this moment in time. So we are going to still have to step it up considerably if we want to get anything out of the City result. But I will take a lot of enjoyment from tonight's game in isolation, because it's been a long time coming for us, the Reds fans, to have something to be positive and something to actually celebrate. We'll come back to the YouTube members chats in a moment. Let's head over to Discord first, maybe. Yeah. Josh Hall says, maybe we should rest Salah more often. Has Klopp just woken up the king? Hopefully, this is the turning point for most season. I think we all needed that win with a couple of red emojis. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's it. It's the mummy returns, innit? It's that kind of segment, man, because he's definitely been a subpar so far this season. But today, he absolutely turned up, and he only needed 6 minutes to get what some man can't do in a whole season. Yeah. We've got the Simpson 1072 says, just hook that into my veins. It's what we need to see. And he says, aye, Dad says, let's be honest, the league is stressful and boring. The Champions League all the way. Yet the excitement of the Champions League. And it was nice to be able to win this game in a way that we wasn't nervous. It wasn't a difficult watch. We wasn't having to watch through our eyes or anything like that. It was nice. There was an enjoyment to it. The first half wasn't the best football that we've played at all. I'd be lying to say it was. But that second half, we just found, I don't know if it was that desire or we found an extra gear, but we was able to actually step up the levels, and we actually just dismantled them and made it look really easy with some really quality goals. Let's jump over to Twitter. Sarah, thank you, Sarah, for your comments. She says, that was an amazing second half. We looked like the Reds again. And yeah, I mentioned that to Pajak on the final whistle. We did look like us again in that second half. That's the Liverpool that I remember. Blowing teams away, having too much for them, some quality through balls, some quality link-up play, chasing the balls down, the pressing, everything. We just seemed a lot more compact and controlled. Steve says, it was great to see us scoring again. It's extra special because it was against Rangers. Saha, yeah. And Mazri Malik says, man of the match, Firmino. Yeah, I think he ran the game a lot. I'm given he was on the pitch the longest, he'd probably be my man of the match, even though he doesn't get the match day ball. I think there'll be a little bit of a dispute, but bear in mind, Chris Pajak is going to be over next to the board in about 15 minutes time to go through the player ratings. Make sure you head over there with him when he jumps on that show and help him out, give him your scores, let him know who you thought was your man of the match, because I think it is going to be a tight call between two potential candidates. I already know he's let the cat out the bag and said he's already going to give Mo a 10. I think there's room to give a couple of other players a 10 today as well. So I would have Bobby would get my vote, is what I'm saying. Dean Foley in the building says, put that damn contract on the table for a man like Bobby Firmino. I'm guilty. I've been among those thinking that he was done, but after that closed door campaign, but tonight he's shown that he's still got a big role to play within this team. And I think he's been vying for that now and stepped up since Mane left in the summer. He's stepped up and contributed to the goals where we'd have expected Mane to get him. He's a senior player within this front line, and he knows what it takes to cut the mustard. And to be quite frank, when other players have been a little bit underwhelming, he stood up and said, you know what, I'm still going to go out and I'm still going to do what I can do. And it's not just the link-up play. That's been evident. It's not just the intense pressing. It's not the fact that he's willing to drop back. It's the fact that he's willing to get himself in and around the box, cause himself a bit of a nuisance, and actually get a bit of an output now that is respectable for any number 9 this early into the season, or at this stage of the season, I should say. So absolutely, Bobby Firmino could get an extension, and at the minute, if he continues this vein of form, it would be thoroughly deserved. Damien says, wins great, should enjoy it. However, anyone getting carried away with that performance with Man City coming up will just be kidding themselves. And yeah, I said, let's enjoy this game in isolation. There is no real need to rush and think that this is a new dawn or we've actually turned the corner, because we're going to have bigger opposition and bigger challenges to face in the next handful of days, and we've got to be real about that. We know City at the levels that they're able to perform at. We know the threats that they've got and what they will try to do to us. So we've got to still stay in our lane. We've still got to be composed. But this game in itself, we can enjoy it, man. Just enjoy the night. The night is young. Enjoy it. Raise a glass. Celebrate how you feel fit. And just be glad to see that the Reds have been scoring buckets full of goals. Jack says what I was alluding to before. Hopefully we don't follow up with the same form after the 7-0 Palace and the 9-0 at Bournemouth. Yeah, I knew this one was queued up. And I think it's a very fair point. Getting these, high-scoring games is great, but I don't want us to absolutely blow our load in one game and then struggle for the next 3 to actually get it, the ball over the line. So we've still got to go out there and do the business next on the weekend. Glenn says, phenomenal second half. Only positives, really, with Bobby continuing his fine form. Mo's looking sharp. Another goal for Nunez. Robertson's back. All but qualified from the group as well. So good stuff. Only positives. I feel like you've listed quite a few positives there. But yeah, no, I completely accept them all. They are spot on in terms of Bobby, in terms of Mo, again, being that clinical in 6 minutes is just scary, and we need to see that on a sustained period now. Nunez, again, I think he took his goal really well. That first time finish was lovely stuff, and it's good that Robbo is back. So yeah, 100% agree with all of the points that you've made, and they are some big positives. And again, it takes a little bit of the pressure off Jurgen and his backroom staff now, because he can rely that hopefully those lads are able to bring in that same sort of performance and intensity again. The Mr. Impressionable youth, Firmino, is undroppable currently. Yeah, on current form, you'd be very, 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 very hard pressed to start dropping Firmino out of this team at the minute, because he's been absolutely phenomenal for us. He's been the linchpin really in terms of being able to guide us and get us results. Without his goals this season, we would not be in the position that we're in. As you say, we're now only needing 1 point in the next 2 games to go through to the group stages, which gives us a massive lift going into the new year, because it's still all to play for. The luck of the draw, all of those things can happen. We might find out who we then go on to the route to a potential final in Istanbul, and that could be the added motivation for our team to really kick on next in the new year. So 100% is a very, very good sign. Mad Munster 1980 said, great win, wasn't expecting 7-1 after the Arsenal game, but if this win helps Liverpool kick off their season, let's go. You never walk alone. Hitchin Baz says there was so many negatives in that first half, but they're all outweighed by the sheer brilliance of Mo and Bobby and masterclass in finishing within that second half. He also says, for the £4.49 super chat, thank you very much, Hitchin Baz. I know you've been watching with us all evening, mate, so thank you. I appreciate it. Mo Salah has the second fastest hat-trick since the millennium, with the fastest being 140 seconds. Admittedly, it was Bournemouth versus Wrexham. Caden Govender is welcomed as a first team member. Thank you, mate. You should. Thank you for leaving us a comment as well. He says, we are here for the good times and the bad times. That's what I was saying to Pajak before. Win, lose or draw, the Redmen are here. We are posted. We are that segment in your YouTube space that is dedicated to pumping out Liverpool content for you guys here from the fan channel that has been doing it for the longest time. 12 years in the making, this fan channel has been here, guys. We've seen the highs and we've seen the lows of this Liverpool team, and we are vastly closing in on close to 500,000 YouTube subscribers, which is a phenomenal milestone. So anybody watching that's not yet subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you nothing. These lads have been churning out content for you guys now for 12 years consistently. Good, bad, the ugly, and everything in between, including the Hodgson era. So spread the love, share the love, get involved with the channel, because they have got some big giveaways as well once we hit that milestone mark of 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Veronica says, I've supported LFC for 44 years, win, lose or draw, and I always will. That is the attitude, girl, and that's why we never walk alone as a fan base. And again, it's not a cliche, that's just what it is. It's ingrained. You are born into this fantastic club, and once you fall in love with Liverpool, there is nobody else. There's no second loves, there's nothing else, there's no do-overs. It's Liverpool till you die. Imran Adam says, can we talk about if we should be playing Mo top from now on? I think it's worthwhile having a conversation about it. I know Pajak mentioned in the watch along that we need to get him closer to the in and around the box and feed him the opportunities and the ball in that area, and I'm likely to agree. I think we've done it as a bit of a break glass solution when we've needed a goal, or we've been, kind of desperate for extra firepower in the last 20 minutes of a game. We've moved them more centrally. I think there is a good argument for it, but I think at the moment with Nunez being up top as well, it's fitting Nunez, Salah, and now this rejuvenated Bobby close enough to each other and in the box that they can cause a threat, but not making us too narrow so that there's just too many bodies there and they're all kind of getting in each other's way. So it'll be interesting to see how Klopp can actually get the best out of them and who has to kind of then compromise and make way down the middle. But Mo Salah down the middle tonight was absolutely ruthless and lethal, and I think that level of being clinical is something that we've sorely missed at times this season. It's Crossbow with the £1.79 super chat. Thank you very much, Alice says, hopefully this gives us a good mindset for Sunday. Yeah, massive confidence boost all round. I know the first half was a little bit shaky, but that is exactly what we needed, a big morale boost for the lads. Shane says, still see City beating us on Sunday. Hope I'm wrong, but it was a great win tonight. Shane, man, come on. Let's think about Sunday tomorrow. Tonight, let's just concentrate on tonight's result and the performance as well. Brace DeVille says, with his $10 super chat, thank you. I needed that performance. My heart is full from it. Up the Reds. Yeah, and that was it. I think everyone, even that meme that said it before, pump it into our veins. Us as a fan base needed that performance. We needed a reason to be optimistic. We needed a reason to believe we are still able to compete with the best in the world. And there's only one stage that really proves that you are the best in the world, and that's the Champions League. So it doesn't matter who they put in front of you in that competition. If you're able to dismantle a team 7-1, do you know what I mean? Like, back in the day, Bayern was doing them things to Arsenal, and everyone still said Arsenal was a good team with a great manager. So you know that there are still levels to this. And right now, we have done a massive, massive step up. Shane also says, hard to name a side for Sunday now. Good, it's a good problem to have. And the app, lots of praise for Salah and Bobby, but let's not forget Harvey for his first UEFA Champions League goal. Absolutely. And let's not forget Carvalho as well. I think he played a great part in today's game as well. If they were both of those young lads, considering I wasn't expecting that much from them, I think they both worked really hard. They had some nice link-up play between themselves. So yeah, massive, massive congratulations to Harvey Elliott getting your first Champions League goal. I'd love to see it. I love that look as well when you were just waiting for it for the fourth official or the fifth official, whoever it was in the VR, to give the goal because you was onside. So I absolutely love to see that. And finally, before we do sign off and I head out and get ready for the instant match reaction, celebrate these wins. Definitely just shows that we can do what's needed to be done. So let's keep it up with some fire emojis and roll on Sunday. Yeah, everybody knows it's going to be a massive game on Sunday. City rock up to Anfield and Liverpool have got a point to prove. Liverpool are going to be mixing it up with the biggest and the baddest. Can we land a punch on this City team? That's what we're going to have to find out. But tonight is all about tonight's result, and that was a 7-1 win against Rangers, so we can bask in this result for a few more hours before we have to think about the City game. But thank you very much for giving us your thoughts. Thank you for staying tuned. And as I say, Chris will be over at the board in a matter of minutes to go through your player ratings. So do stick around, because Redmen have got you boxed for all your post-match content. Catch up with you soon.
Hey, what's happening, everyone? Hope you enjoyed that show. If you did, please do give the video a like and subscribe to the channel as well. If you want even more Liverpool content, even in video or podcast form, do check out Redmen Plus, our subscription service. Tons and tons of great Liverpool content, both in video and podcast forms. Check it out. You will love it.